right, Bob, lot 1283.1. It's a 1970 Ford Mustang Boss 429 fastback, and it's in this outrageous grabber green. It's actually put together, restored by some guys, 7 guys in one shop who's put a lot of love and attention into the car. Original documentation comes with it, sitting on just some fantastic Goodyear tires. It looks great. I think it's going to go well on the block. What do you think sitting at home? What is your Haggerty fantasy bid? Time to start playing. Get going, guys.
Beautiful Mustang. Figure out what you think that Boss 429 will sell for. Text your bid to 773333 or go to speedfantasybid.com. Good luck. Pretty car. We are back under the big top at the 39th annual Barrett-Jackson Collector Car Auction presented by Ford on Speed. There you see from our mother's car care cam our current Haggerty fantasy bid cars. 7th of the evening. Beautiful 1970 Ford Boss 429 Mustang. Figure out what you think the hammer price of that car will be. Text it to 773333 or go to speedfantasybid.com. But hurry, time is of the essence. In case of a tie, the earlier correct bid received will be the winner. There is so much to see and do at Barrett-Jackson and so much to eat. Now to the stage where lot 1283 is a bright red 1970 Boss 429 fastback. Now our Haggerty fantasy bidding is still open. We've got another Boss 429 coming up, so this might give you some idea of what a reasonable price might be.
The Boss 9 was built for 2 years to homologate that engine for NASCAR use. You can instantly tell a Boss 9 because the hood scoop is flat black on a 1970. Should be body color on a 1969. Steve?
Sure. Yeah, the Boss 429s in 69 and 70 were both partially assembled as 428 cars, but then they were sent to Carcraft in Brighton, Michigan for modifications. You can see here that the inner shock tower was scalloped slightly to allow the width of that big Boss 429 semi-Hemi to slip into the engine bay.
These engines were made in the Lima, Ohio plant. And Rick Carter emails, don't say Lima as in Peru, but he worked on the NASCAR street engine line and built enough parts to build 600 engines. The aluminum heads were outsourced, and only a select hand-trained group were allowed to install them.
Sir, I have 185, Bart. I'm asking 195. 185 and 195. 185 and 95. Out of an 85 here to get about 95. We all do done. Give me more 85 and get about 95. 185 and 95. 185 and 95. 1,000 out of 95. 195. I have 190 with Pat, 195 Tim, 190 here to get 5. You're out, Tim. I have 190 bid, sir. 195. 5 to play, Jimmy. 195. 195. 195. 5 to get about 5 here. Now 2. Out of a 2, Pat. Out of a 2. 200. Out of a 2. Out of a 2. Out of a 2. You've been a good bidder always. Out of a 200. Out of a 200. You really have. Out of a 200. Out of a 2. Out of a 2. We all done. I have Tim at 195 in the box. 200,000 you Pat Murphy. 200,000 out of the 200,000 Pat. 200,000 out of the 200. Last and final call.
If you're looking to match that shade, it's Calypso Coral.
Of course it is.
Again, one of 500 Mod 429 developed in 1970. Reward this factory specs by a skilled craftsman and take pride in their cars, matching numbers, onboard trailer gold.
$195,000. Now, how good of a measure is that for your Haggerty fantasy bid? If you don't already have it in, it's too late. We're closing the bidding on another 1970 Boss 429 fastback.
Ford had several of these grabber colors for 1970. I think they even applied them to the Mavericks. But this, of course, is grabber green. And another beautiful 1970 Boss 9. They didn't build that many of these, and it seems a high percentage of them come through Barrett-Jackson at one time or another.
Of course, 1970 was a big year for the Boss 429. In 69, they used a kind of a mild hydraulic cam. They went to a solid cam for a little more performance. And unlike any other Mustang built, with the exception of the GT350 of 65, all Boss 429s have the battery stuck in the trunk because up front there just isn't any room for it. The battery in the trunk also helps with weight distribution and traction.
We were talking about how many of these were made. There were actually 499 of the Boss 429s made. There were about 7,000 of the Boss 302 made. Much more common, still relatively rare, but much more common.
The dyno sheet on this car, when the engine was sent out to be checked, came back reading 462 horsepower.
Oh, man.
Ladies and gentlemen, a matching numbers engine documentation.
Honest, Mr. Insurance Man, it makes $350.
Window sticker and both original Ford shipping invoices, one to Carcraft and then to Granite Motors in Granite Falls, Minnesota.
What's being explained is this car came off the Mustang assembly line. It went to a Ford sub-assembler, Carcraft, to do the engine installation, and then was shipped to the dealer.
Look at that number. $250,000.
You're in. 250, 260. Let's go.
Wow. That's an eye popper, number 3 of the auction. Wow.
Big number, big car. You'll enjoy putting your right foot down on that pedal.
Just make sure you look far down the road ahead of you.